Terminator Resistance is not as bad as I expected it to be. When I first saw the trailers and saw that there was going to be a Resistance tie-in to the Terminator Dark Fate film, it looked like one of the worst games I'd ever seen. Having now spent about 12 hours to play it through to completion and get the Platinum Trophy, I can safely say it's not the worst game I've played this year. This is not to say that it's a good game or that you should buy it for any reasonable sum of money.
I see you. I found myself a lookout spot. No sign of any tin cans so far. Couple of crawlers, but nothing you can't handle.
The story is incredibly predictable, to the point where there's revelations made at the end of the game that you can predict from the first lines of dialogue that characters say to you. There are dialogue choices that you make that affect the ending, because your choices matter, but it's literally just the ending slide you get when you finish the game. It doesn't feel like any of the choices I was making would actually have any difference to the game. There's a decent amount of weapon variety in that you get a lot of different things that shoot plasma, and then there's like 4 regular firearms, all of which kind of suck. The game is semi-open worldish. Nah, it'd be a lie to call it that. You go from area to area, and each of the areas has a bit of space to explore. So like for instance, we're in the warehouse district, so it's roughly yay big, because the map isn't revealed by the save game I loaded up here. This is only in chapter 3 of about 27. But the general loop of the game is you go out into an area. This one, you explore and you do some side quests and main quests.
Resistance outposts. You go about your business while I stay here and enjoy the view. And
sure thing.
Please don't do anything stupid. Oh yeah. Out.
You've got detective vision that lets you see robots through walls. You get XP for killing bad guys. You get XP for blowing up.
The way you're shooting, I thought you need all the advice you could get.
Thank you, Colin. You get XP for murdering things. You can then search them for stuff. There's a default and basic crafting system in there where you can craft yourself some ammo and equipment. But the game doesn't feel particularly well balanced around you actually searching enemies or looking around environments for things. There's a vague stealth mechanic here, but like it's kind of broken. Like this armored spider sees me. It's going to shoot at me. Now, I'm just going to hide behind this. Can't get at me. Can't see me. So after about 15 whole seconds, it's like, well, guess he's gone. And he just starts walking away, like it doesn't care. You know, just like the Terminators in the films. The ones that do not stop, ever, until you're dead. And that's also part of the problem, is with the AI being so brain dead, it's not particularly challenging to murder them, and then scavenge them for parts. But as I was saying before I got distracted by that bad guy, the game's balance and currency system is all over the place. As you level up, you get different skills and abilities, of which only a handful of them are actually any use, including stuff like getting extra inventory space, and dealing more damage with weapons, or being able to lockpick and hack things so you can actually open boxes. But by the end of the game, my inventory was filled with thousands of rounds of ammunition. I didn't even carry regular small arms anymore because they don't do damage to Terminators, which is fair, but also means that like your M16 is the only assault rifle you get in the game and is utterly useless after about maybe 2 hours in the game. And I had like 60 grenades, 80 pipe bombs, I had 100 medkits. Like if you actually take the time to explore environments and actually look around from place to place, you end up with so much in the way of trade resources and items to use, you just become overpowered. Like just taking the time to actually explore each room and each building you find will carry you through the rest of the game with no challenge. The game is also one of the easiest platinums I've ever got, because I basically just had to explore, level up, and complete the game. Like the majority of the side trophies are for completing side quests, There's only one missable trophy as far as I can tell for unlocking a hard difficulty door, which of course, because I was exploring and finding things, I found that door and unlocked it. But yeah, it's functional. You could even say competent, given it works. I didn't really have any major bugs or glitches throughout. There were some annoying things where there's problems with cutscenes and gameplay not really matching up, but you know, it's a low budget game. It kind of works-ish. Shooting robots is fun because shooting robots is always fun. The soundtrack's alright. Like, there's a decent variety of music as long as you like the Terminator theme being played and absolutely everything. But it's not worth $60 or €60 or 60 anything really. Like, if you pick this up in the January sales, because it will be in the January sales, for $10, you'd have fun with it for 10 hours. You'd laugh at the silly storyline stuff. You'd have a great laugh at the terrible first-person romance scenes, which is one of the funniest things I've done this year. But yeah, it's not worth spending any large amount of money on. It's not terrible, like I say, it's just that there's so much better games you could be playing or spending your time on. If you want a good game where you shoot robots and explore the environment, the Outer Worlds is right there. If you want to shoot things, Call of Duty's right there. So yeah, I'd say avoid/rent.